frequency of the earth, if that is in fact what happened, is to use mantra because you are aligning your frequency with the universe.
Oh, well, this is just the beginning. I know this is the exploration period. And I swear to you, it's one of those where it's almost like I feel like in Tai Chi where when you first start, that first position, that first movement takes years to actually perfect, as they say.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel that a little bit with mantras. Like, as I said, the last time I've heard some of these things before and I almost need to hear it again and again. That's why I'm so delighted when this goes to podcast and I can just replay it each time.
Right. That's great. That's great. It is helpful. So shall we do some mantras? Shall we leap into our grounding mantra?
That would be wonderful, Bhavani.
All right. To me, as I say, the best place to begin is with Ganesha. And Ganesha, in one way, is considered one of the minor energies. However, if you start anything in India, whether it's a new business, a journey, a marriage, whatever it is, you always invoke the energy of Ganesha first. And the reason for that is that he is the remover of obstacles. Often he is pictured as a young boy. He, of course, has the elephant head. Easy to pick out in a crowd. There he is with his elephant head. But he's a masterful warrior because he's the son of Shiva. So he's very powerful and clears away all the obstacles. So when you are beginning a new year, it's very wonderful to begin with Ganesha because you want to clear away the obstacles for this year. And of course, I mentioned to you, I have a program coming up at Kripalu, Applying the Magic of Mantra, where we will also begin with Ganesha. Ganesha, another name for Ganesha is Ganapati. So when we do a mantra to Ganesha, often we address him as Ganapati. And Gana means category. So he's the Lord of all the categories. So in one way, he's the Lord of the universe. But they all are. So
I was going to say,
That's right. But it is important to remember as well, to me, that what we are doing is invoking energy. We are sounding a frequency to invoke the energy that will remove obstacles from our path. And that's what's happening. So the mantra, if you have that slide, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Now you notice it's spelled G-A-M and it's spelled G-A-N-A. So, but it's gum. In Sanskrit, as in the European languages, when you have a particular vowel, that vowel is always the same. In English, of course, it's happenstance. An A can be or whatever. But in Sanskrit, it is always that simple sound, the first sound that people make, So, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Now, before we start that, though, let's look at the ways of doing this mantra. And oftentimes, people will use the prayer beads, a mala. Mala means garland, but it also means an instrument or a tool for our spiritual work. And those, of course, who were raised Catholic know that the rosary is very handy because it keeps you focused. That's exactly what the mala does. It helps you stay focused as you are doing your practice. But if you don't have a mala, you can do your mantra on your hand, because the ideal is to do 108 repetitions. That's very simple on a mala because the mala has 108 beads plus one extra, which is the meru bead or the guru bead, that collects all the energy of your practice. So very easy to count 108 on the mala, because you just go around it and bingo, you've got 108. On your hand, and we have a diagram of the hand, you'll find that there's a way to do it where you count 20 5 times, and then you add an extra 8, and you've got your 108, right? 20 times 5, 100, add 8. So we will do using the hand today to get you used to that. And what we will do with our lovely mantra to Ganesha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, is we will do it a quarter of a mala, which is actually 27 times, which means we will do one of those 20 repetitions on the hand and add 7. All right, so right hand always, left hand used for other things in India. So we start, as you can see from the diagram, on the ring finger in the middle area there, and do a repetition. So are we all set? Are you set, Christina, to
Absolutely, Bhavani. But I want to let you know, Bhavani, before you do start, though, that I am actually going to mute myself so that your vocal is much clearer for our audience. And because I'm not as familiar with the words, I would like those words to be very clear for those who are following, especially those who might be listening to this as a podcast. One voice is much easier.
Okay. That's a great idea. And also, let's then go over it slowly so that people can get it. Om. And you can repeat.
Wonderful.
Gum. Ganapataye. Namaha. Om Gum. Ganapataye. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So, all right, hands up and let's begin. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 That was 27 repetitions. And of course, if you were doing the full mala, you would simply keep going. Any questions about that one?
Ooh, that was wonderful. It's just so lovely when you put it, when we read it as one thing, but when Bhavani takes us through it and the rhythm of it, it is real. It's almost the melody. It's so melodic. It's your body almost begins to catch into its rhythm and the breath.
Totally. Yes.